What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here, Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you guys for checking it out. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully you guys are having a great week. It's been kind of a weird week for me personally, but I digress. This is going to be an interesting video because I really like it when developers open up and talk about Xbox One X and the PlayStation 4 Pro for a change, but mostly this is about the Xbox One X, and Crytek was doing some actual pretty big conversation in this interview, and I'm going to link it so you guys can check it out. So first of all, they kind of answered a couple of different questions. One was, you worked with Microsoft before. Do you have any thoughts on why DirectX 12 hasn't become a huge success as initially planned? And Crytek's, one of their developers, had this to say. He would say, I would say based on the future mark results that were established this year that both DX12 and Vulkan rival each other with only the separation shown on certain GPUs. We have also dabbled with DX12 early on to show you how you can lace a full cinematic trailer in our VR experience. We found that the large amount of instances helped not only with the numerous particle simulations triggered throughout, but also the clouds and vegetation at the end of the film performed wonderfully in the most taxing scenes. So they're talking also about a couple other hot topics for Xbox gamers. Cloud gaming, the power of the cloud. Do you think consoles will ever see a future where they can use the power of the cloud to improve their processing capabilities? This is kind of a lame question because we've already seen that with Xbox games, but his answer was, the entire concept of using the cloud for processing power is something that developers have been anxiously anticipating for years. The direction will inevitably be that consumer has a viewing device and the data is streamed to the device for interaction. You can already see some of this in the technology behind spatial and how they are distributing the physics simulations across multiple servers for infinite scalability. Infinite scalability is what drives this conversation and gets people excited. Scale not only the worlds but also the resources to handle the computation, while only the rendered image and your input are handled by your device. So that's interesting. See, the power of the cloud is real, and it's actually been on multiple Xbox One games already. Halo 5, for instance, when you play Warzone, the cloud is helping offload renders as well. Same thing with Gears of War 4. When you actually play Horde mode, the computations are there as well. Same thing with Titanfall 1. So we know that the cloud is real. It's just getting that implementation to where we want it, like with that Crackdown 3 full open world server situation. So here's what they had to ask another question. They said, the PS4 Pro is on the market for a year now, and the Xbox One X just recently launched. Do you think of the Xbox One X launch will expedite 4K support? And he said, competition is always favored inside of any market considering the focus and push from Microsoft. It can only be assumed that their competitors will follow suit. The titles each console promotes are also quite similar in terms of performance requirements and graphical fidelity. So in the end, the customers will drive the tech through in sales. So basically not saying anything we didn't already know as well. Now here's the most interesting question in my opinion. Tell us one thing about the Xbox One X that was either shocking or surprising while you were working on it. And this is what he had to say. One thing that was a delightful surprise with the Xbox One X on the initial usage was the amount of raw power it had underneath. We had to adjust some texture compression settings, but overall, the optimization was minimal on 4K once we were up and running. Another thing that aligned closer with our core is the HDR support. With this, you can really push the style and look of your scenes without having to redo all the assets or compromise heavily on frame rate. As you can imagine, we are glad to see this delta shortening, pushing us towards consoles reflecting the same development experience over time. So here we go. How close is the Xbox One X compared to high-end modern gaming PCs? He says the Xbox One X is very comparable to a standard gaming PC on the GPU end. It will be the CPU end that you will find the PC will be outshining the consoles. This will always be the scenario given that you can trade out to customize the hardware. We can look at the AMD Jaguar CPU and how this lines up to the Ryzen line. However, at first glance, we see that the performance is roughly half or one-third. So that's really cool. Here's another thing. Can the Xbox One X run most games in native 4K? Shortcuts are a way of life, but if we look at the strategy behind the Xbox, we can see a console that was engineered to tackle specifically 4K gaming. There you have it, folks. Most games will squeeze out every last bit of performance out of the hardware, so I can expect trade-offs between optimization and the hardware. Fortunately, the engineers are allowed to develop the success and scaling and checkerboard rendering for future-proof the console even further. So you've got all kinds of future proofing and things like that. But there you have it from one of the best and most well-respected developers talking about the Xbox One X, and it can do 4K and it can do all this. I will link this article because it is fascinating. Go ahead and give it a read. Let me know what you think. Sound off, rate, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. Have a great day. Rack 'em up. Crapgamer out.